What's up guys, PolishLynx here, and it's time to find out because what will happen because we are in the place we're supposed to go. Since that day when we left the 7th floor, the car strip meter showed some 900 kilometers. From an unplanned start we really did make it all the way here. Well, where should we go from here? South. South. Got it. Following the car's direction I set off. Of course, coming here even I knew what the place would be. I could see number of signs for tourists in front of me. However, I followed her navigation. I had a feeling that it would be wrong if I didn't. For some reason, I wanted to do it that way. Of course, I finished the previous episode in a bad moment, like always. Chapter 7, Narcissu. Slowly the setting sun dyed everything orange. A deserted beach, a strong cold wind swaying a pine grove. Driving the car out onto the beach, I turned the driver's seat over to the girl. Alright, the clutch. Can your feet rigid? It's fine. Okay, then next. Shift the gear from neutral to second. I know. Alright, fine, then do what we want. Alright. The girl with her short build stretched her foot out as far as she could while gripping the wheel with a serious expression. Leaning out of the passenger seat, I spoke up. That's great. After that, slowly release the clutch. So freaking sweet. And then looking obviously nervous. As expected, grinding noise was phenomenal. Look, you need to disengage the clutch more quietly. Her words said so, but of course it wasn't something one got skillful at right away. The girl tried her best, chewing on her lip a bit in concentration. Exactly, because she would normally show no emotion. Her figure seemed charming to me. Hey, I'm about to start feeling sick. With the muffler slightly broken, the silver coupe was noisy. On the deserted beach, it was as if a howling voice was reverberating. When the sunset had changed into the night sky and the faltering sea breeze completely changed to being a land breeze, at some point the face of a large moon hung in the sky. For the most part, it seems you've gotten used to it. Along with that reply, she even shifted into third. Totally used to the clutch now, she was driving around the narrow beach. If that's the case, you could get a license without going to the training center. No? Really? Well, I don't have much credibility, it's the words of someone who just got the license, after all. By now, there was no meaning for us to get a license. Both of us knew that. We had maps, we had medicine, the muffler was broken and loud, but we even had a silver coupe. But we had no time, had no future. It was exactly because we knew that I felt it was all the more trying. Well then, instead I'll give you mine. As I spoke, I took out my own license from my pocket. This was original license that had lost its debut. To me, the proof of the ordinary world that I should have already lost. Here, in place of your diploma. Even if I take it, it doesn't look like I'd have time to use it. Well, don't hold back. I'm more or less the same way after all. The 7th floor that no one had ever escaped, the high ceiling, windows that could open only 50 centimeters, the white vinyl bracelets, were the third time as the last the girl on her second, I on my first. So here, congratulations on graduating. Thank you. With a small nod, the girl accepted my license. With that, she was also licensed. Not only coupes, but sedans, even convertibles. She should be able to drive anything that she liked. Surely she should be able to go to any place that she liked. After that, we drove for a bit more. We arrived at our destination. the place where the foliage could be seen. It was supposed to be a tourist spot, but perhaps this was a bit away from the area, or perhaps it was the night. No one was inside. Within the perfect darkness of night, we were waiting for the dawn in the dim car interior. Say, you're not going to turn on the light?
つけないの?
The battery seems about dead. That's right.
そうだね.
Inside the car with even the engine off, only the dim light from the dashboard faintly illuminated our profiles. In the tight space of the car where sound and light faded away, we exchanged very few words as we waited for sunrise. And the lump of laundry that had been tossed to the rear seat, the thick jeans and sweatshirts and towels. We took a number of those and wrapped them around our bodies in place of blankets. Aren't you cold? Well, you can come a little closer, you know. Look, don't hold back, come here. Speaking to a girl shivering from the cold in the passenger seat, I pointed to my lap. I'm sure that it'd be warmer here. Not particularly, I'm fine.
私は平気よ.
As the girl spoke, her body was shivering. Even inside the car, our breaths misted. And it was obvious she was putting on a brave face.
それとも
Or
あなたが寒いから
is that you're cold, so you want me to come? Well, that's fine too.
じゃ
Then,
あわかった.
Then slowly she came over to my side, hesitatingly curled in my lap. Well, it's a bit warmer, isn't it? The windshield was fogged totally white from the cold outside. With the white and the dark outside, nothing could be seen outside. But soon the sun would rise. Surely at that time a field of white flowers would spread out. The night was quickly fading and the rising sun was turning the darkness from a faint purple to a pale white. Then, with the dawn, white flowers spread before our eyes. Oh, beautiful. In the place that had been only black up until now, white flowers appeared. The two of us couldn't help but get out of the car and gaze at the scene. Amazing. That's true. Spread before us countless daffodils. The morning dew cut the morning sun, further enhancing the bright whiteness of the prominent flowers. One could believe that it was a carpet that stretched to the sea. And in that we exchanged words, our breaths shining the same white. Since that day, the boring television showed the flowers, we had come to visit this place. Even though we had no purpose, we managed to come all the way here. These flowers, I can think of them as being the same. Even strictly speaking, they are the same.
厳密に言っても同じ.
I see. That's good. I didn't know the difference between kinds, but that day the television showed a scene of unbroken, uniform beauty. Compared to that, the flowers before our eyes differed in size as well as how much they bloomed. But, without a doubt, they were here.
綺麗.
Beautiful. Indeed. The Jew, dull, ordinary, but always cold and merciless to everyone. Reality. In a world filled only with things that couldn't be seen, a world filled with things where even if you stretch out your hand, you couldn't touch. Right now, something that would definitely be touched was before our eyes. Some fragments of those unseen somethings were scattered about. January 31st. Rain continued to fall from the solid white January sky. Since then 2 days have passed, and the whole time we were still in this place. We couldn't go. Hey, are you alright? Probably.
多分
Her health had taken a turn for the worse. Her health taken a turn for the worse. With her lying stretched out in the passenger seat, we barely moved the car and had remained stopped here. She was taking her medicine, but perhaps they weren't effective. Her bad state of health remained constant. However, we were people from the 7th floor. from her original condition for a girl who was on her second time to end up like this wasn't too surprising. Say, do you want to go back?
あなた
You want to go back?
帰りたいの
Just a little bit.
7階
Same floor or home?
それとも家
That's... I didn't know. What I had known was that sooner or later this would happen, and of course I myself was not too far from it. However, being able to only watch nearby, unable to do anything, was painful. February 2nd. The rain didn't seem like it wanted to stop, and continued falling from the dark night sky. Beyond the windows of the parked car, the shining white daffodils would faintly sway. Say, this is... As I spoke, I pointed at the white flowers beyond the windshield. These were Narcissus, weren't they? The daffodils? The word came from Narcissus.
ごきげんよ
Narcissus. That was a word that I remembered hearing before. Until now I had thought that it had been a familiar word. But... You mean the Narcissus where Narcissist came from? Originally, it was a myth, so there are many
元々が神話
tellings.
だからいろんな説があるんだけどね
And then the girl started to slowly explain as I wore an admiring expression in my face.
誰からも愛
The
され
one
る
who was loved by everyone, Narcissus.
妖精の
The
エ
nymph
コは
Echo was also one of those who
そん
loved
な
him.
彼が好きな一人だったのでもエ
But
コは
Echo couldn't say anything
相手
but
と
the
同
same
じ
words
言葉
spoken
し
to
か
her.
話せない
Nothing but the same words.
そう
Yes, and so
だから
for
ナルシス
Narcissus.
に先に彼
Unless
の
she
口
got
か
him
ら
to say I love you
愛してる
from
って
his own
言
mouth
ってもらわない
first.
とエコは
Echo
自分
could
の
not
気持ちを
express
伝え
her
るこ
own
とができない
feelings.
の
In a lonely and sound voice, the girl continued to speak. I felt that her gaze, like before, looking at some place much farther away.
でも
However, that was absolutely impossible.
絶対にありえないどんなに
No matter how much she dreamed, the earned Echo's wish could never be granted.
最後に
Finally, she wound up placing a curse upon Narcissus.
呪いをかけてしまうの
That was the famous falling in love with his own image reflected in the pool. And then Narcissus would continue to gaze at his reflection.
自分の姿を見続けたナルシスはいつしか
Eventually, was transferred into a beautiful flower.
姿を変えてしまうのそれ
And
が
that
この花
was where this flower, the Narcissus, drew its name.
ごげんよ
When the story came to an end, she slightly took a breath. I had been listening and also felt desolate. Echo, who bore a yearning for something that could never be reached, it felt as if it were just like us now. And then, what happened to Echo?
いないわ
She's nowhere. From the moment the curse was cast, she
呪いを
disappeared.
かけるときに消えちゃったから
Disappeared? Then, wasn't there no meaning behind it? To go so far as to place a curse, but to get nothing from it. In the end, it just made Narcissus unhappy also.
どうかした
Is something wrong? No, but you're different, aren't you? Well, before, didn't you ask me? Whether I cursed my own fate, which I couldn't do anything about? Because I had given up.
私は諦めているから時間の止
The
まっ
me,
た私
whose time had stopped. Numerous seasons, white overcast sky, passed without even need to exchange words with anyone.
いつから
When was
私
it
は
that I became alone?
一
I
人なのだ
wondered.
ろうか目を閉
Even
じ
if I
て
closed my eyes, the world didn't disappear. Even now I stopped my tears, the sound of the rain wouldn't stop. I knew that. Neither the bikini swimsuit, the emerald sea, nor the happily smiling photo. I didn't really think I was envious. In the world of my closed eyes, even without maps or a car, I could go anywhere. even if I wasn't being warned by the large scar on my chest, even if this reality was where Narcissus and I were at home. Let's finish it for now. It's been 15 minutes and I'm running out of memory space on PC. So, see ya, bye.